Golf fans, prepare yourselves. What we witnessed on June 19, 2025, at Eagle Trace Golf Club wasn't just another junior tournament. It was a moment that redefined expectations and announced the arrival of a new generation. The setting, Coral Springs, Florida. The event, a U.S. junior amateur qualifier where dreams collide with reality. The stakes, only 5 coveted spots available for the national championship. The weather, unforgiving Florida heat that tested both skill and resolve. When the final putts dropped and scorecards were signed, 3 names sat deadlocked at the cut line. 3 teenagers, each carrying their own story, their own pressure, their own dreams. Charlie Woods, Matthew Morgliano, and Oscar Crowell tied at 171 strokes, all fighting for one remaining spot. This wasn't just any playoff. This was the moment when a 16-year-old stepped out of his father's considerable shadow and into his own spotlight. Eagle Trace Golf Club had shown no mercy that day. The greens ran fast and true, punishing any player who dared to be casual with their approach. The Florida sun beat down relentlessly, adding another layer of challenge to an already demanding course. Charlie Woods had started the day with quiet determination. No fanfare, no media circus, just a teenager with a golf bag and something to prove. His front 9 was solid but unremarkable, the kind of steady play that keeps you in contention without making headlines. But it was his back 9 where the magic began to unfold. Hole after hole, Charlie methodically worked his way up the leaderboard. A clutch par save on the 13th, a laser-sharp approach shot on the 15th that left him with a tap-in birdie opportunity. And then, on the crucial 17th hole, when the pressure was at its peak, he delivered a birdie that sent ripples through the gallery. This wasn't flashy golf, it was surgical precision under pressure. Meanwhile, Matthew Morgliano had been the picture of consistency all day. No dramatic swings, no emotional outbursts, just methodical, machine-like execution. He understood that sometimes the best strategy is simply not making mistakes when others are crumbling. Oscar Crowe, perhaps the most unlikely member of this trio, had shown remarkable resilience. The underdog with bite, he navigated bunkers and tricky pin positions with the kind of composure that suggested he belonged in this conversation. By the time they reached the 18th tee, it was clear that destiny had other plans. Each player faced that final hole, knowing that every decision, every club selection, every read of the green, every breath would determine their immediate future. The 18th at Eagle Trace doesn't accept half measures. It demands commitment, precision, and nerves of steel. All 3 players delivered exactly what the moment required. Solid, professional golf that left them tied and heading to sudden death. The playoff hole wasn't just a tiebreaker, was a crucible where talent meets pressure and only one emerges victorious. The sun was beginning its descent over South Florida, casting long shadows across the fairway and adding a cinematic quality to the proceedings. Spectators pressed closer to the ropes. Phones emerged from pockets. Coaches stepped back, knowing their work was done, and this moment belonged entirely to their players. The hole selected for the playoff was a medium-length par 4, with enough complexity to separate the pretenders from the contenders. Miss left, and you're dealing with trouble. Go long, and disaster awaits. It was the perfect test for this moment. Matthew Morgliano stepped up first, the weight of the moment evident in his deliberate, pre-shot routine. His tee shot was clean, but not ideal playable, but not the position you want when everything is on the line. His approach shot showed aggression, perhaps too much. The ball leaked left, rolling to the fringe and leaving him with a challenging up and down for birdie. Oscar Crowe followed with his characteristic steady approach. His tee shot found the fairway, giving him a clear look at the pin, but his second shot caught too much wind, ballooning higher than intended and landing well short of the flag. A decent position, but not one that applied pressure to his opponents. Then came Charlie Woods. What happened next was the kind of golf that gets replayed on highlight reels for decades. No hesitation in his pre-shot routine, no panic in his body language, no doubt in his swing. His tee shot split the fairway with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel. As he walked to his ball, there was something different in his demeanor, quiet confidence that suggested he had been in this moment before, even though he clearly hadn't. Standing over his second shot, Charlie took one quick look at his yardage, exchanged a brief word with his caddy, and settled into his stance. The swing that followed was pure poetry, a soft, high fade that seemed to hang in the air for an eternity. Before landing with one gentle bounce and rolling to within 2 feet of the hole, the gallery fell silent. It was the kind of shot that doesn't just win playoffs, it announces arrivals, according to Reuters. Woods delivered the kind of shot under pressure that you'd expect from a 10-year veteran, not a 16-year-old. Golf Digest described it as a fearless swing in a fear-filled moment. Morgliano lined up his birdie attempt, knowing he needed to make it to stay alive. The putt had the right line but not quite enough pace, sliding past the cup. Crow faced a similar situation and met a similar fate close, but not close enough. When Charlie stepped up to his 2-foot birdie putt, the outcome felt inevitable. No ceremony, no dramatics, just the steady stroke of a player who had already won the hole in his mind. The ball disappeared into the cup with a satisfying rattle, and just like that, it was over. This wasn't just about advancing to the next stage of competition. This was about a young man stepping into his own legacy while honoring the one that came before him. Tiger Woods watched from behind the ropes, maintaining the composed demeanor that had defined his own career. According to Golf Digest, he offered a single nod after the birdie fell, no celebration, no fanfare, just that signature acknowledgement that spoke volumes. CBS Sports called Charlie's performance a clinic in composure, while NBC Sports went further, suggesting that Charlie Woods just gave us a glimpse of his father's mental game, calm, cold, complete. For Matthew Morgliano and Oscar Crowe, the day ended in heartbreak, but not humiliation. Both had played exceptional golf under extreme pressure. Morgliano earned alternate status for the U.S. Junior Amateur, a consolation prize that still represents tremendous achievement. Both young men had proven they belonged on this stage, but the story that emerged from Eagle Trace was about more than who won and who lost. It was about the emergence of a new narrative in junior golf, one where Charlie Woods is no longer defined by his parentage, but by his own achievements. This playoff victory represented a turning point, not just for Charlie, but for how we discuss and evaluate young talent in golf. The pressure of carrying a legendary surname has crushed many promising careers. But on this day, in this moment, that pressure seemed to fuel, rather than hinder, performance. The golf world took notice. College, COACHES, started making calls. Junior players around the country began reassessing their own games. And somewhere in a Florida clubhouse, a 16-year-old was quietly preparing for the next challenge. From July 21st to 26th, all eyes will turn to Trinity Forest Golf Club in Dallas, Texas, for the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship. Charlie Woods is officially in the field, carrying with him not just his own expectations, but the weight of renewed attention from the golf world. This won't be a repeat of the qualifier. The U.S. Junior Amateur represents a different level of competition, entirely the best junior golfers in the country. Many with Division I scholarships already secured, all fighting for one of the most prestigious titles in youth golf. Charlie will no longer have the luxury of flying under the radar. Every competitor will know his name, his story, and his recent success. He'll face players who have been preparing specifically for the opportunity to beat Woods in competition. The format adds another layer of complexity: stroke play, followed by match play elimination rounds. It's not enough to be consistent. Players must also excel in head-to-head competition, where psychology and mental toughness become paramount. Trinity Forest Golf Club will present challenges that extend far beyond the course architecture. Charlie will compete not just against other players, but against expectations, comparisons, and the constant awareness that every shot is being measured against the achievements of his father. But if the playoff at Eagle Trace proved anything, it's that this young man possesses the mental fortitude to handle pressure and deliver when it matters most. The birdie that won the playoff in Coral Springs was just the opening chapter of what promises to be a compelling story. Charlie Woods has officially announced himself as a serious competitor in junior golf. But more importantly, he's done so on his own terms. This wasn't about living up to a family name, it was about creating his own identity as a golfer. The swing was his own. The pressure was his to handle. The victory was his to claim. As the golf world turns its attention to Dallas and the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship, one thing is certain: Charlie Woods is no longer just the son of a legend. He's a golfer worth watching in his own right, with his own story to write and his own legacy to build.